Fields on first down. He's got a man, complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They'll get 34 yards there.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Collins trying up the middle. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. And again, it's Collins. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. He's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another that's going to set up 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Trying to punch it in with Collins. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Garibay back out there now to send this one away. Taken from about the 12. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Bears, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll send the tight end in motion left. On 2nd down, Collins. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Well, Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they've got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, You got to understand, you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
On first down, it's Fields. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. That one to the sideline, and a nice catch there. He stays in bounds, but a penalty marker is down as well. Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
Here we go on fourth down. Fields got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. A great play there. His fifth touchdown now on the year. And the Bears' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Wow, talk about a big fourth down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
Yeah, I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game? Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays that we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly not giving much up to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. On first and goal, Collins. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Second and goal from inside the 5. They go again with Collins. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. With his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point up and good by Garibay. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Garibay back out there now to send this one away. Taken from about the 12. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. And that will be incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Try and throw for it here. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A shotgun snap, Fields. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Tariq Woolen picks it. And the Seahawks are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up. They're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Bears force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the... That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, and the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play, and he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
To throw again on second down. Fields. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, Fields. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
On 4th down, it's Collins. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. On first, they go right back to Collins. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bears are able to add on to their first-half lead. Though CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, it looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4 are fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Garibay back out there now to send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they are winners of 2 straight games as they have climbed back to 500 now on the season.
And you and I both know that this can be a tough team to figure out sometimes, because I remember a few weeks ago you and I having a conversation where we both thought that this was a season that could get away from them pretty quickly. Obviously not.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done, because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
He'll drop to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And now the rookie's free. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one That was huge for him. That has to feel much better right now.
And you're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Fields. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I have a few questions about that throw because to me there just wasn't a lot there. I thought he tried to do a little bit too much, almost tried to will a receiver open when there was no chance he was going to be. Nice job by the linebacker being all over that one and knocking it away.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. They snap it to Fields. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations. That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there. 32 yards. And the Seahawks get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range. And this throw will be intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it, and the Seahawks will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
They go play action here on first down. Looking deep downfield. And this is going to fall to the ground incomplete. That very nearly their fourth pick of the game. Instead, second down.
But no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He's going to go up top again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. Wow, a big mistake there. Late interception in this first half, and that could lead to a field goal try the other way.
Yeah, I think at this point you just had to say, let's take a knee and go in at the half and regroup. Let's just talk it over a little bit. I wonder, partner, was the analytics coach in his head a little bit? Maybe go ahead and press it and try and get some points. While the old school coach probably would have said, take the knee, let's get out of here.
Now we could see points the other way here. And it bangs off the right upright, no good. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They're going to try and throw. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to give it back here just past the 35. Tough one there. first drive of the third quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be an even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Chicago! A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Garibay. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Garibay back out there now to send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. Well, to say that this has not been his game is probably a big understatement. I mean, he is all over the place. Mechanics are off, not accurate, except if you're playing on defense, because they picked off a good number of passes.
Yeah, all the INTs, but they're throwing it off his back foot. Pressure coming. And my goodness, another interception. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. They're still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Here's a first down run with Collins. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just a third quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Bears take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point up and good by Garibay. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Garibay back out there now to send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk...
He's got a man, complete! And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete.
I've got a good friend in football, always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been abandoned.
Oh, Fields is intercepted for a third time. And the Seahawks are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
2nd and 13. And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy. All these turnovers right now.
Yeah, well, this was the forecast. We got what was forecasted, and we've gotten a lot of turnovers. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. The throw down the field, caught by his running back. Touchdown! A great play there. 32 yards. And the Bears get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Extra point up and good by Garibay. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Garibay back out there now to send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He's going to air one out. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Pressure, and he's taken down. The Bears sack. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
It's been a tough football game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Back now at Soldier Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to let this one go deep. And now here is another interception.
And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. They've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB. And oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there. There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Running off tackle with Collins. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The offense on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
On 4th down, Fields. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Back to throw here. Looking middle, and that's complete. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. And he's got his man on the out route.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway, Con.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Following the fumble recovery, Fields. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the first down. Now Fields. And his throw here is going to be incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. Fields. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Garibay on to attempt the point after. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Garibay back out there now to send this one away. Taken from about the 12. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out.
And my goodness, another interception. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Here we go on 2nd and 12. And now here's another interception. And the Bears are going to take over at their own 41. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else.
Oh, wide open, complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Garibay on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Garibay back out there now to send this one away. Pulls it in at the 13. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up second down. Now back to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. His big game continues. 10 catches now, and another first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. They'll drop the throw. He's going to let it fly. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And my goodness, another interception. There he goes, right side. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
Garibay on to attempt the point after. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. Garibay back out there now to send this one away. Pulls it in at the 13. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
In a game that hasn't gone your way, you've got to throw in the end zone at every opportunity and hopefully climb back in as much as possible. He put way too much on that throw, though, and that shot ends up with nothing.
They'll look to throw again. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. But is this